Hi guys, back again with another review. Today we are taking a look at the all-new Athearn Genesis SD70. I have two road numbers here for you today. I have 1012 and 1008. Now I'm going to show you the unboxing of these, and I'm only going to show you the one, which is 1012, because, well, obviously the boxes are basically going to be the same, and then the detail is also pretty much the same. There's a few different road specific details which I'll point out, but let's get started. So first thing, you'll see the cardboard sleeve on here, and it's actually pretty tight. You have to really push to get it out. And there's your regular Athearn Genesis metallic blue box with your diagram on the end, and take the lid off. And what you get in the box is your Genesis limited warranty, your new Genesis manual, which they've redone, made smaller, changed the color. The diagram is no longer in here either. Sign up for Athearn newsletter stuff. And you have your explode parts diagram. So now for the revealing. So there it is, guys. It's in its regular Athearn Genesis clear plastic sleeve. Again, very well packaged. Does not move one bit. Take the plastic sleeve off, and you have your little interlocking system there. And you have your styrofoam to protect the handrails. Struggling to get that out. And on the other side as well. Now that you've seen a quick glance of the engine, I just want to show you the new Genesis operating book or guide as opposed to the old guide. Now obviously color difference. I find this one much more appealing, but then when you look in here, you have all your diagrams, handling maintenance, and you even have a few pictures in the back. Now for this one, you don't have any of that. You just have your handling and maintenance, where to lubricate, so forth. Turn the page. You have more handling, maintenance, DCC and sound, more DCC and sound, more DCC and sound, and this is all the values right here. And warranty. You don't have as many pages for one, which is also probably a cost cut for Athearn, but I find this one is a lot more professional, I guess, per se, because this one you have a lot of pages that you don't even look at. So I'm a big fan of their new guide. Tell me what you think. So here's the engine, guys. This MSRP's for about 300 US, but with the exchange rate and the dollar in Canada, they go for 380. Pricey for sure, but I think it's well worth it. They have a fair amount of detail, and they're a very nice looking locomotive. And there's the two paired together, 1008 and 1012. On the front you have your MU cable and receptacle. There's also some air hoses, and this unit has the tall snowplow, tall Canadian style snowplow, which was dated to the era of 2010, which is when this unit would have received that tall snowplow. On the nose, you have the ditch lights, which are operational, handrails and chain in between, separately applied grab irons on the nose. There's the 88-inch nose with the sand hatch and another separately applied grab iron. There is also some more hand railings. You have your ladder down here. Headlights, operational. Number boards are not lit, but very crisply printed. And you have, I believe it's a Sinclair antenna, as well as a AC unit on the top. And you have your typical Athearn sliding window shades, which don't want to seem to move right now, but I do promise that they do slide back and forth. And you have your windscreens on the side here, as well as sunshades. And on the side, the number and the Illinois Central reporting mark are very crisp and legible. You won't be able to see, but it does have a cab interior. You cannot access that though, unlike the SD70 ACs. And this is a CN Spartan cab for those of you who don't know. So on the trucks you can expect to find loads of detail. The late speed recorder, right about there. You have your brake shoes, your airlines, everything that you have previously seen on Athearn Genesis trucks are on this model. So taking a look at the trucks, you can expect to find loads of detail, including the late speed recorder, brake shoes and brake lines, and air reservoirs. You have a jack stand right here, a bell, your emergency fuel or emergency stop button, and all that great detail. Taking a look at the side now, you have your dynamic brake intake grill, as well as some warning labels which are clear under magnification, as well as the Spartan cab battery box doors right here. Taking a look at this side, there is a blower housing, your access panel, handrails, again, not the sturdiest handrails I've ever seen, but they're there. There's also some air reservoirs down here and your fuel tank, 5,000 gallon fuel tank. And nearing the back of the engine, again, Athearn Genesis trucks, jack stand, your grills. Now close to the back, again, Athearn Genesis trucks, your air dryer prime, as well as grills, another grill there, and a few little access panels. Now at the back, there's another MU cable, some air hoses, spare knuckles on the back, coupler of course, as well as some separately applied grab irons. You also have the number boards, which again are crisp and legible, and your backup light, which is operational. Now taking a look at the roof, there is a Sinclair antenna, a AC unit, and a dynamic brake exhaust fan. And you have some contours as to where the cab was assembled, and you also have lift rings on the corners down here. And let's move on to the next section. Here you can see the turbo exhaust stack. Again, more lift rings, some access panels on the roof, a horn, and some more lift rings to the end, towards the end of the engine, which we'll get to. And on the top, at the end of the locomotive, there's lift rings again, and the 48-inch fan set. Flipping the engine around now, let's take a look at a few of the other details. On the side here, you can find more separately applied grab irons, as well as handrails, and in the back here there is an ICE equipment bulge on the 88-inch nose. Again, sunshade, windows, move back and forth if I can get it to there. There we go. They move back and forth. And then you have your wind screens. The 1008 and the Illinois Central reporting mark is all clear and crisp and legible. And another dynamic brake intake grill. On the sides again, the printing is clear and legible, and there's no signs of fading or blur. And again, on the sides there's also the access panels and a few other separately applied details. Towards the back you can see the radiators as well as the manual brake and a few other access panels right in here. Now that we're done taking a look at the detail, let's take a look, let's listen to the sound. So it's quite apparent that right out of the box it is very loud, so I'll go ahead and turn that down just a little bit. So now let's take a moment to take a look at the horn options on the Soundtrack Tsunami soundboard. I got a request after I posted my Union Pacific SD70 review to put in a clip of this selection of horns, and I won't do a follow-up video for that particular unit just because all of the horns in this SD70 in front of you and the Union Pacific SD70M and the SD75i, they all have the same horn options on their Soundtrack Tsunami board. So let's just take a look at the default horn. And horn option number 1. That was horn option number 1, and this is horn option number 2. If I can get it to work. And again, that was horn option number 2. And moving on to number 3. And horn option number 4. And 5. And last but not least, 6. And there's just a slight variation in between those two last horns, but there you have it. That is the horn selections or options for these locomotives. Moving on to the next thing. Now that I've turned the sound down, let's take a look or a listen at the horn. Bell. Dynamic brake. And the headlights now. And ditch lights. And I find for an incandescent bulb that the headlight and the ditch lights are actually quite bright, especially compared to the past runs of the ACEs or the ES44 ACs. Speed step 1. Now backing up, speed step 1. So I just muted it quickly there, but as you can see, it does run very smoothly for speed step 1. Now let's rev it up. And there you have it. Now let's just take a quick look at the shutdown sequence. And the shutdown sequence can be controlled by hitting the emergency stop button on your Digitrax controller. So like I said earlier in this video, this engine MSRP is for $300 US, and that's for sound, of course. The non-sound unit, I believe it goes for $200 US, of course. And with the exchange rate and the dollar in Canada, these engines are sold for $380. Now, this engine is very pricey, for sure, and by far the most expensive engines I've purchased. And that's just all to do with the Canadian dollar. But for the price, I think it is money well spent. It's a great engine, and I mean it has some very nice detail, and it runs very smoothly, and it sounds great. I don't really have any. I'm not really disappointed with anything on this engine. The only, well, I mean, which is typical, the handrails are a little bit flimsy, but that's with pretty much any manufacturer. But the one thing I wish Athearn would change, and everybody else wants Athearn to change, is the incandescent bulbs. Intermountain has switched over to LEDs, and I think there is a few other manufacturers that have switched to LEDs. But one thing that could just top it off, or basically a cherry on the top for these Athearn models, would be to put LEDs in these locomotives. I think it would turn out so much better. But other than that, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. Hopefully this video ends up being short and to the point. That's what I try to aim for when I'm doing my reviews. But we have just went over the two major things of this model, which is sound and detail. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and leave a big thumbs up on this video. Thanks for watching.